Hello and welcome to the Sunday Afternoon Modular. Why is my channel called Sunday Afternoon Modular, you might wonder? Well, I used to play around with my synthesizers every Sunday afternoon. In this video we will have a look at the Behringer Kobol Expander, which is an analog semi-modular synth. It comes with 2 oscillators and 7 different wave shapes. It is modeled after the original Kobol Expander from the 70s. Now, first and foremost, what will I do and what will I not do in this video? So, this is not an in-depth tutorial of this synth. I will also not show all the sounds you can achieve with it. There are videos who do this, so I don't feel that I have to do the same. So what I will do is we dive a bit into history. I will give you a short overview about the Kobol Expander. Then I decided to try to achieve a brass-like sound. And I will also try to modulate it with some patch cables. Alright, let's dive a bit into history, shall we? The original RSF Kobol is a French synthesizer, released in 1978. It was created by Ruben and Serge Fernandez, and often described by people as the French Mini-Moog. As you see, it comes with a keyboard. Now, the Kobol Expander is the rack-mountable version of the RSF Kobol, released 1 year later in 1979. They later also released the Kobol Expander 2, which added new features such as ring modulation, sample and hold, and envelope followers. The Behringer version is modeled after the first expander. There were quite some musicians and bands that used the Kobol synthesizer, such as Vangelis, Hans Zimmer, Jean-Michel Jarre, Peter Gabriel, Vince Clarke, and Depeche Mode. Although the Kobol sounded great and was loved by many, RSF were never able to mass-produce it like Moog, being a very small French company. They produced less than 200 original units that came with the keyboard, around 800 Kobol Expanders, and 200 units of the Expander 2. This makes the synth quite rare and pricey. You easily pay $6,000 to $9,000 nowadays if you find one. Now, the Behringer version I have here is around $200, so quite affordable. It sounds great and is fun to play with. If you are not sure if synths are a thing for you, this synth is a good starting point. Alright, let us have a short overview of the Kobol Expander. It comes with an LFO, a voltage processor, a noise generator, 2 VCOs with 7 different waveforms each, 2 VCAs, a voltage-controlled filter, 2 ADS envelope generators, and again a VCA at the end. As you can see, we only have attack, decay and sustain, but no release in the envelope section, like the original. There are a lot of in- and outputs. There are a lot of in- and outputs, which is cool, because this means we can not only patch the synth itself, but also combine it with our Eurorack modules. And we can also process external sounds through the Kobol. Like all Behringer rack versions, the synth is in the 3U Eurorack format. You can take it out of its enclosure and put it in your Eurorack case, like a big module, if you like. What we also have on the front is a MIDI input, where you can connect a MIDI keyboard or external sequencer. On the back we have an audio out, dip switches to select the MIDI channel, a MIDI through output, a Type B USB socket, a power switch and a DC input. Now the USB connection can be used to control the synth via USB MIDI, to update the firmware, and for the use with the SynthTribe software, which lets you set and change certain parameters. In my sound demo, I actually connected the synth via USB and created a MIDI track in my DAW, which is Samplitude. This means that I now can send MIDI notes via USB to the Kobol Expander, which then will play my notes. And from the audio out of the Kobol Expander, I go to my audio interface to record the sound. Now I know in this modern age of music creation, there are people who don't play the music themselves. They use MIDI core packs. Now, MIDI core packs contain ready-made MIDI tracks that you can just drag and drop into your DAW, and then they usually use a software synth for the sound. But what you can also do is to connect real synths, either via USB if the synth supports it, like the Kobol Expander we have here, or via a MIDI interface. And I think this is pretty cool. But enough of this, I am drifting away. Alright, so let's check out my brass-like sound. Alright, so as you can see, I did some patching here. Now let me shortly explain. I take the ADS out to modulate the LFO rate. This is the green cable. Then I use the LFO output 1 to modulate the filter cutoff frequency. This is the red cable. And then I use the noise output to modulate the filter resonance. This is the blue cable. Now let's hear how it sounds. Alright, that was it. Of course, you can achieve many more sounds with this synth. Did you achieve a cool sound with it? Let me know in the comments. If this video receives about 100 plus likes, I might do another video. So if you want to see more about the Kobol Expander, leave a like and become a subscriber to not miss any future video. So long, have a great day, evening or night, and see you next time on the